Would you really prefer that we had nothing at all? Look, I completely accept that there's an awful lot of cynicism out there, there's an awful lot of non-performance out there, there's an awful lot of utter disappointment in terms of effective implementation, all the ways we mentioned. But are we worse off for having a degree of international consensus now in the way that we had zero consensus in the 1990s? We had the North very obsessed about humanitarian intervention, but never prepared very often to do anything about actually delivering on it. We had the global South utterly resistant to the whole idea of the right to intervene. We've now at least got that conceptually together. We've got an acceptance of the basic principle that it is actually everybody's business. We've got an acceptance of the necessity for, institutional steps to be taken. We've got a lot of effective action taken on the preventive side, which doesn't ever get acknowledged, and we've got the failures, yes, on the reactive side. But are we worse off as a result? I mean, you really, really have to work hard to argue that, I think. And what you've got to do when you're confronted with this sort of disappointment, there's two kinds of people in the world. There's optimists and there's pessimists. There's pessimists who say the world's a crappy place, that people are going to always be motivated by selfishness, by greed, by ambition, or by idiocy, and there's nothing we're ever going to be able really to do about it. We just have to accept that reality. Or there's optimists who say the world's a shitty place and things keep on going wrong, but that just means we've got to recognise that we've got to work that much harder if we are going to get decency standards, common humanity standards, cooperative strategies effectively put into place. And look, if you approach life as a complete pessimist, you just don't get out of bed in the morning. At least if you're sort of optimistic and do put the rosy spectacles on occasionally and say with a little bit more effort and attention and we can make this actually work. Wheels do turn, things do change. Because otherwise just that sense of uselessness of everything is exactly the kind of thing that means that we'll never make the world remotely a better place.